Okay, the next three speakers, Donovan, Saadiq, Russell Shaver, and Lilia Ulawa.
Okay, Abaca Santa Cruz, good to see you. You're doing a great job as usual. I'm all for the slating of the candidates. I believe we have some all great candidates here. Common sense is the biggest tool you're going to need. All your degrees, all your stuff doesn't mean anything if you're not involved in the community and know what's going on in the community. So your common sense is all we need. So we have some great candidates. Only problem I have is with the way that it's set up, with the mayor having the overall jurisdiction to pass the slate, is the problem with the mayor. He illegally tried to appoint LaDonna Jimson almost 2 years ago. And because of that, the tainting of you doing nefarious things with your cohort there, Dave Marquez, makes it suspect. I just can't trust it. And just like Roy Bleckert said, this is the divide in the city that you, a leader, is supposed to bring together. And you haven't done that yet. And until you do, give us an explanation, some kind of resolution to what happened October 19th. This is not going to end. It's not going to end. It's not personal. This is about me being a taxpayer, standing up for what I think is right. When you try to take the voice from District 1, there's a problem. And in District 1, we need a representative on that planning commission. It makes sense how it has to go. But this divide that's in the city and the corruption and Dave Marquez admitted to a conspiracy. Where is the police? Where are the people investigating this? We haven't seen one report in 2 years. What's going on here? He admitted that there has been crimes. I don't know.
The next three speakers are Russell Shafer, Lilia Ulawa, and Maribel Nunez.
I remember the last board meeting, the discussions about board and commissions, and here we are having the same discussions, and most of the council members voted it down. They want to have their own representation in their own district. I hope District 1 gets someone on their planning commission. You need to fill the ones that do not have quorums. Like Shalonda Bernard said, you were trying to pull a fast one by slipping in a slate that was not equitable. In conclusion, when Yexian Gutierrez also presented as a slate, you, Mayor Cabrera and Marquez, also voted it down, and you, him, held up all the boards and commissions at the same time, just because you, Cabrera and Marquez, did not want two people that were to be re-upped on the planning commission. As for that, planning commission's qualifications: number 1, listening; number 2, having knowledge or understanding of community issues; number 3, being fair and open-minded; number 4, being prepared; number 5, ability to communicate, speak clearly at meetings; number 6, analytic ability, evaluate information given to you; number 7, respect for the public and their concerns, to go to academies to learn more when talking about merits. I just listed them. You do not need an MBA. Thank you.
The next three speakers are Lillian Ulawa, Maribel Nunez, and Roy Bleckert.
Buenas tardes. ¿Alguien me puede ayudar con la traducción, por favor?
Sí, claro que sí. Si nos da un segundo, ¿tenemos el traductor o alguien que nos puede ayudar con la traducción, por favor? Yeah, they're talking here at the moment, but we do need a translator. If you don't mind, if we can have you come up here to the front, and we do need a translator up here, please.
¿Gusta usted decir unas oraciones y luego yo voy? ¿Sí? Ok.
Gracias. Mi nombre es Lili Ulloa y soy la fundadora del grupo comunitario Capacidades Diferentes. Es un grupo que se dedica a prácticamente las necesidades de las personas con discapacidades de desarrollo. Estoy aquí porque pues somos
Espera,
testigos.
Ulloa, si
Oh,
puede
sorry,
dar
perdón.
un momento para
Disculpa,
que
sí.
traduzca y luego usted puede comenzar
Gracias.
otra vez. Gracias.
My name is Lily Ulloa, and I am the founder of a program called Capacidades Diferentes, Different Capacities, which is a program that helps people with disabilities.
Estamos aquí porque muchos somos testigos de la pasión y la abogacía hacia el beneficio de la Madre Tierra.
We are here because a lot of us are passionate about what happens to Mother Earth.
De Gabriela Méndez, que es una activista en potencia y que ella nos ha guiado y educado
From Gabriela Mendez, who is an activist who has helped guide us.
nos ha guiado, nos ha educado y nos ha organizado a la comunidad
She has guided us, she has educated us, he has helped organize the community
en pro del medio ambiente y las comunidades en desventaja.
in favor of the environment and all the underserved communities.
Gabriela Méndez es un elemento importante para considerar
Gabriela Mendez is an important member to consider
y formar parte del Moreno Valley Environment
and form part of the Moreno Valley Environment
and Historical Board para la planeación e implementación de increíbles proyectos. Gracias.
and the Historical Board for implementation of important acts. Thank you.
The next three speakers are Maribel Nunez. Oh, Lilia? Did Lilia? Okay. Maribel Nunez, Roy Bleckert, Susanna Maciel.
Okay, I don't know if my time's up. Hello, Maribel Nunez again, and I'm just here in support of a good list of commissioner candidates. And the ones that I wanted to recommend also to talk a little bit more is Ms. Sammy Luna for Parks, Community Service, and Trails Committee, and Ms. Gabby Mendez for the Moreno Valley Environmental Historical Board. Ms. Sammy Luna, being a longtime Moreno Valley resident, helped create LULAC Moreno Valley. She's part of Latino Network. She does a lot of education justice work, helps organize community events, involves every year on the LULAC Health Fair, active on a lot of issues, and really uplifts different issues that deal with social justice. So I think she will be great to be in this committee, Parks, Community Service, and Trails. And then the other person I would like to recommend is Ms. Gabby Mendez for the Moreno Valley Environmental Historical Board. My other colleague had shared a lot of good stuff. She's very passionate about the environment, our community. I have the pleasure to work with her on different issues, community, like bringing the community, monolingual, immigrant communities, people that are LGBTQ, all different communities together in a room to organize ideas of how the community could play a voice on community development projects. We work together on housing policy, inclusion housing ordinance, which I know we want to be able to discuss here in Moreno Valley. I share with some of the council members about this. And also on redistricting in Moreno Valley, she just like today, has bring monolingual individuals, youth to do public comments for Riverside City redistricting. So she will be a great asset to bring a lot of different people to be part of this conversation of the city. Thank you so much.
Next three speakers are Roy Bleckert, Susanna Maciel, and Olga Franco.
My name is Roy Arthur Bleckert III. I have a PhD and am the worldwide leader in hillbilly. So we all like to throw our credentials out. I thought I'd throw out mine. There should not be one appointment. There should not be one meeting. We should disband these committees and tell you first. Get rid of the rule. The anti-Pete Bleckert rule, which was put in the 80s, that you're stating and you're intimidating everyone that's coming up here saying, oh, you can't come up here and criticize this. You guys should be read Baca versus MVUSD every meeting before you get on this dais, before we get this city sued like the Moreno Valley Unified Crime Syndicate did in 1996. You have the receipts. Cabrera and Marquez 6 years ago knew there were problems. You seen the email. Why didn't you read it? I have nothing against. There's probably a lot of fine people here and putting on these boards and commissions. But again, we're going to look like a bunch of yo-yos just like this. I want to know, and I asked at the last one, why was Daryl Terrell and why is he not being put on that planning commission from District 1? Will tell you my theory. It's a political payoff because he ran against Carrie Thin, which sat with K9 Corey Jackson in the meetings and stuff against the police, running this stuff. Tell me it isn't true. Look at the evidence. The golden rule. He who makes the rules. He who has the gold makes the rules. Corey Jackson poured, what, 20 grand in your campaign, Mr. Cabrera? That's what's going on here. That's what you're using, and you're weaponizing this community again, and you're putting these fine people's reputations and lives on hold because of your gain, and you think you got the political power to shove it down our throat. It's going to stop.
The next three speakers are Susana Maciel, Olga Franco, and Allison Herrera.
Gracias. ¿Necesito traducción?
Sí, un momento, por favor. Do we have the translator ready in the back?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we're good. ¿Gusta decir también oraciones y luego yo voy después de usted? Perfecto.
Buenas noches. Gracias por este tiempo. Mi nombre es Susana Maciel. Yo soy madre especial de 2 adolescentes y sé la importancia que es del medio ambiente. Aquí estoy apoyando a Gabriela Méndez, que sería muy considerada por ustedes para ser miembro del board. He visto su gran trabajo que ella ha hecho, nos ha enseñado. Y para mí como madre especial, creo que es muy importante que aprendamos acerca del medio ambiente en nuestras ciudades. Creo que sería...
Sí, nos da un momento también para que puedan traducir.
Buenas noches, mi nombre es Susana Maciel. Soy Oh. Okay.
Pause the time and maybe put, I think it was maybe 5 seconds or so. If you could put it back on the clock, please.
My apologies. Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Susana Maciel. I am I'm the mom of 2 special children. And as a mother, I come in support of Gabriela Méndez. I think she is a great advocate for the environment. As a mother of 2 children, I think it's very important to be very caring of all environmental purposes, and I think she'd be a great member of the committee, a board member.
La he visto trabajar en el Centro de Acción Comunitario y Justicia Ambiental.
I have seen her work in the center, the Community Center and Environmental Justice.
Creo que sería muy buen miembro para su ciudad.
I think she would be a great member for the city.
Gracias. Les agradezco.
Thank you. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The next three speakers are Olga Franco, Allison Herrera, and Stanislaw Yombo.
Hello, good night. My name is Olga Franco, and I'm support Gabriela Méndez. I think she's a good girl, and she's been working hard for this position. So I just come here to support her. Thank you.
The next three speakers are Allison Herrera, Stanislaw Yombo, and Sammy Luna.
Hello, everybody. My name's Allison Herrera, and I'm from Moreno Valley, and I'm here to support Gabby Mendez to be a part of the environmental and historical preservation. She's a very good girl, and I've seen a lot of her work all over, and I think she has worked really hard to be a part of this position, and hopefully she does get it. Thank you very much.
The next three speakers are Stanlis Yambo, Sammy Luna, and Gabriela Mendez Ula.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Thank you, City Clerk, for pronouncing my name. My name is Stanislas Bacabella Yumbo, but you can call me Yumbo. I think it's easier, and I love that name, so thank you. I'm a resident of Moreno Valley since 2017. District 4, Shalinda, I'm in your district. Well, Mayor used to be actually the council member. So I put my application, of course, and thank you for the consideration. And the little story is, when I moved here in Moreno Valley, it was kind of hard because I moved from Orange County. And you know people from Orange County, the way they behave. Anyhow, so when I came here, everybody was like, well, Moreno Valley is like the reject of people from LA. I kind of believed it until I got here. Oh, yes. That's what they told me. But here's the thing. I moved here, and Moreno Valley was so beautiful. All you need is a little love from not just people from outside, but from us, from ourselves. So that's why I love that consideration because I want to put Moreno Valley back on the map. People who move from LA, they're not reject. It was just smart people. And I know some of them actually on the dice out there. It was smart people who wanted a beautiful life. That's why they moved to Moreno Valley. Most of them work an hour away from here, but we want to make Moreno Valley beautiful. We want to attract people to come here to visit Moreno Valley because we have a history. The name Moreno Valley, by example, where the name Moreno come from. So that's why, thank you for the consideration. I'm going to make sure, because I love competition, I can tell you that. I'm going to make sure people know where Moreno Valley is and what it represents. Thank you very much.
Next three speakers are Sammy Luna, Gabriela Mendez Ula, and David Bride.
How do I follow that? He's a happy guy. Sammy Luna, District 2 resident. So when we were here 2 weeks ago, I wasn't able to be on the board that I wanted to, but coming in tonight now I'm surprised because there are enough applicants for the Environmental and Historical Preservation Board, and that's the one that I wanted to be on. So I'm very enthusiastic about that. I appreciate your consideration for that. Just a bit about myself. I bought my very first house ever in Moreno Valley in 2008. Raised my kids here. I think I've shared that with you guys before. I grew up in the Moreno Valley Unified. My son is a junior at Canyon Springs. I love this community, and I feel like there is so much potential for it. And I think, for people to give of their free time, not get paid for it, shows that they're invested in their community. And so with that being said, I hope that you will consider me, as I am a advocate for the environment, and definitely would love to dig a little deeper into the culture of Moreno Valley and help preserve it, and just be even better community member to bring everyone together and share the love. Thank you.
Next three speakers, Gabriela Mendez Ula, David Bride, and Tom Gerald Sr.
Oh, wow. Hi, good evening. I spoke earlier. First and foremost, I would like to thank the mayor and council staff, my beloved family and friends and community that came out in my support. And thank you for the time and space to formally introduce myself. I'm Gabriela Mendez Ulloa, otherwise known as Gabby. Currently a student at the University of California, Riverside, a resident of the great city of Moreno Valley. and also currently and for the past 4 years have dedicated my life and service to an environmental organization to work on state policies at the regional level, local level, you name it. I've been all over the place. We've worked specifically on the Clean Trucks Rule, Indirect Source Rule, and other social justice realms too around SB 54. And I want to talk a little bit more about me and my passion towards this specific matter. By the way, happy Down Syndrome Day. This is important. I have a younger brother who has Down syndrome, who also has underlying medical conditions, and that is why the environment is an important matter to me. It is important that we protect our environment and uplift community health, specifically for vulnerable populations, because they're already dealing with so much, right? We want to make sure that the air they're breathing and everything that they're taking into their bodies is good for them and is not harming them in any way, shape, or form. Specifically also for the rest of the residents of Moreno Valley, right? We want to make sure that they are in the healthiest environment that they can be in. Most importantly, I'm excited to, if I get selected to be on this board, I'm very excited to develop community or solutions with community for community, and I highly appreciate your consideration to have me on your Environmental and Historical Preservation Board. Thank you so much.
The next two speakers are David Bride and Tom Gerald Sr.
Hello, I'm thankful for this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is David Bride. I've been a resident of Moreno Valley for 39 years in District 1. And I've seen it, when I came here it was 84, so I've seen this thing grow and what's been happening. But in the meantime, I was an employee at the City of Riverside for 32 years. I just retired last December, and I worked for the electric utility. I put in my application for the Utility Commission, and I have 32 years of experience working with the utility board, the city council, and everything with the City of Riverside. Upon leaving, I wanted to take my education and take my experience and pass it on to the city that I live in. So that's mainly why I'm doing this. I hope that you can consider me for this position. And I really want to thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Tom Gerald Sr. is the final speaker.
Tom Gerald Sr., again speaking on behalf of myself. Mayor Cabrera, Mayor Pro Tem Delgado, members of the City Council and the staff and those here in the chambers and watching at home. Thank you for the opportunity. I wasn't actually planning to speak on this, but candidly, I was very impressed with the number of speakers, the quality of them, the qualifications of them, and in fact, some of them have been here several times, and that's a good thing. I'd like to see some appointments to be made. And I speak as somebody who served at a total up, it was like 15 years on different committees. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying I have a point of observation. So it's good to see such interest in people serving. It kind of reminds me of the early days of the city. You couldn't get on a committee, even the most innocuous little committee, like I won't name them, but some of them weren't as popular as others, but boy, there was a waiting list for 6 deep. So it's good to see that type of rejuvenation in community service. And then in closing, and he didn't ask me to say this, but I really think Darrell Terrell will make a really fine planning commissioner. One of the things that he has, I didn't know it till we were talking the other day, and some of you may remember a fellow named Bob Wolf. I mean, Bob Wolf was a very bright guy, and Darrell can show you, he libraried all his texts back and forth to Mr. Wolf. And he's got quite a library stuff. But Bob Wolf wrote the book, How to Be a Developer. Now, it wasn't a bestseller, but it did nail, so he knew the business and he knew what he was talking about. So he was mentored by a very stout gentleman who was on the first planning commission and had a lot to do with the history of the city. So he's well schooled and he's well committed, and I think he's shown his commitment to our city. Thank you.
One last speaker, Luis Palomares.
This is a commercial right here. Okay, Luis Palomares. Wow. This is the second time you've had these people out here for the commissioners and the boards. It's great. They're good people. They're solid. They have good credentials. But I believe you lobbied them last time and this time again. And also what you did with the Arts Commission. They're not even back here anymore because you told them, oh, we're going to get this and we're going to get that. And wow, they haven't big bad since. They thought they were going to get something right away. But you didn't tell them that you haven't had projects and got the DIT fees for some of this stuff. As far as these commissioners, what did we talk about at the last meeting? About the mayoral duties. 3 of you council members agreed that we're going to see about the mayoral duties before we do these commissions and boards. I'm not knocking the commissioners that are here. I mean, the ones that are coming out, they're great. But let's do it right so it's a hypocrisy right here, right now. Because you talked about it one way last board meeting, and now you're talking about it another way this board meeting. I mean, I'm not saying the council, but Cabrera brought it back. He insisted. He's adamant. You know, I'm all about, hey, they're great commissioners, but let it be the way the council said at the last meeting, as far as let them have some equity in this call. And these people can, you know, have their applications, and the applications ain't going nowhere, you know? But let's get the mayoral article duties up and running first before we go there. That's all I'm saying. I agree with a lot of these people. They're great people. And you have them out here again in the rain again. Come out again. It's going to happen tonight again. Why are you lying to these people? Why? And I'm sure there'll be great commissioners and great board on the boards and committees, but why? Why do you do this, Cabrera? Why? You're doing it again.
Thank you. Shame on you. Madam Clerk, do we have